Heading out onto the lake. We've got 4 inches of good solid white ice, or blue ice they call it, I guess. We're gonna try for some perch and maybe some late evening walleye if we're lucky. Oh, this guy's good. Oh, this guy's a scrapper. He's a scrapper. He's a scrapper. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Okay, come here, Aspen. Here, you get this guy in case he's a walleye. Here, you take him. I'm gonna get ready to grab him. Okay, nice and easy. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Oh, he feels like a scrapper. Oh, let's see what he is. He's good.
Maybe he's just like a tiny.
No, it's a walleye. I can see him.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah! Look at that guy! Woo! High five! Nice fish. That's a perfect eating walleye for Lake Mindemoya. All day we've been trying to catch this guy. Nice job. Woohoo! Yeah, that's awesome, man. This is a great walleye. Look at this. Is my nephew and my niece. These guys are, look at the camera, wave. Yeah! Good job. Yeah, baby. Awesome. Fueling the passion, fueling the fire, and getting outdoors.
Life offers no guarees, but the one thing we've learned for sure is that the time we have is indeed precious. The more time we spend with family, friends, and with nature can make the difference between living a good life and living a great one. Join us on our quest to be participants rather than observers, to learn from our mistakes, to share our successes and our failures, as we spend all of the time we have chasing our dreams, fueling our passion, and fueling the fire in the great outdoors.
All right, we've got enough ice to actually get out on the lake with the bikes. There's about 5 or 6 inches of good ice. It's late for that though. We usually have about a foot or better. So we usually have our shacks out on the ice, but we don't. We're making the best of it. So I'm gonna get set up this morning and hopefully go for some panfish, some perch, maybe some walleye. And you know what's biting right now? Our ling or burbot in Lake Mindemoya on Manitoulin Island. So we're gonna go check that out and see what's happening. You can see its first ice out here, and it's super late. It's super late. Oh, I can feel them on there. Yep. Super late for ice to be forming. We're usually, you know, full on to ice fishing mode. Oh, he's a jumbo perch and he's just caught by the lip. Oh, this is what we're after. Look at that. This guy's probably 12 inches. He's a perfect fat, or she is a perfectly fat perch for Lake Mindemoya. And we're using this is a teardrop lure. It used to have a glow in it. We took that part out. It lost its glow, but it's a tiny little treble, which is great for perch. But you know what? It's also good. This little buckshot is also good for walleye and burbot. You don't need a great big hook when you're out there trying to fish for walleye. All you need, sometimes they just take that little wee bite at it and hold on. And if you can see that line go down just a wee bit, then you're going to increase your chances of them not really feeling that metal, feeling something foreign on their jaw. And it seems like we catch just as many fish with these small little trebles on something like this buckshot as we do with, you know, with a bigger jig or something like that. So hopefully a couple of more of these big jumbos today for the frying pan. No action, just a bump. I can just feel him on there. Oh, this feels like a good fish. This feels like a good fish. Oh, I see him swim by. He's a big ling. Probably about a 2-3 pounder maybe. All the way around the hole. Oh, he's barely hooked. That's a good ling. That's a good, or burbot, right? Let's see. This guy feels more like perch. Yep. Good little eater perch for sure. Again, this is the typical size that we see out here. You know, we do have some bigger perch, but you know, we're after those 13 inchers, but there's definitely some big ones out here. This guy's got it wrapped around, but a good little eater for the frying pan. Again, we eat fish, especially in the winter time. We eat fish twice a week, 3 times if we can, especially when it's fresh catch. So we're hopefully get some more of these today with the kids. That feels like a little bit of a better perch. Maybe not. I've always got a little bit of spunk. And these are the size of perch that you can expect in Lake Mindemoya. Just a big fat female. Look at the size of that. A gorgeous fish, probably 13 inches, all splayed out like that. And you know, we're trying to get a number of these to make a big perch dinner for the family. We invite some people over, we spread ourselves out, my dad and my mother-in-law, and we have a big family dinner in our garage. But you catch these because you're out there fueling your passion, fueling the fire, and getting outdoors. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Just doing a bait check here. We're fishing Mindemoya late season on Manitoulin Island. A very simple setup. We've got these little forage minnows. They're just a tiny lure with a small treble. With a little wee treble. We're fishing prime time because, as you guys know, walleye and those big 14-inch perch are predator fish, and they have that distinct advantage at last light. So we're set up here. This is a beautiful spot. We love fishing here. It's close to home. We do a nice little trip around the lake today with the snow machines. This island that we call Manitoulin actually has 108 different lakes on it, and this particular lake is Lake Mindemoya. It's the 3rd largest lake on the island. And in this lake, it's got another island called Treasure Island. And it's renowned for productivity in perch. There's actually a pike population in this lake. I've had fishing clients that have taken big pike here, 40 inchers in the summertime. But it's renowned for its walleye, perch, and predominantly whitefish, Cisco population. And even now in the summertime, we actually are catching some bass in here. A great pastime for us in the summer is bass fishing from paddle boards. It's a ton of fun. We've been super fortunate to be able to fish this lake for most of our lives. And actually, we fish it from a sea-doo as well. And Aspen and I went out this summer and we hammered some real nice smallmouth bass. Let's check that out. It's a gorgeous morning here on Manitoulin Island, and we're seeing some. I caught one from the paddleboard this morning, but this sight fishing is just awesome. There he is there, come on, come on, come on, come on. There he goes. Fish. All right, good job. Aspen sighted that fish and actually set the hook perfectly, right? You waited for it to take it. It's hard though when you're fishing from the sea-doo and sight fishing, you see it take your jig or whatever your bait is, and then it doesn't always take it. It just has it, and you're tempted to set the hook early, but you waited on that one, and once you felt it on your rod tip, that's when she set the hook. So good job. Big high five. Hang on, hang on. Look at the other ones are just chasing him around too in the water. Look at him, he's spitting up all the crayfish and stuff. He hammered that. He went at it so hard. There was no question he wanted to hit this. Whoa!
Come on, in the net, in the net. I got it.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Woohoo! All right, I'll show you this fish in a second. We finally found what's working. It's a little chartreuse. I'll show it to you in a second. It's triggering these fish to bite. We'll throw this guy back in. We're fueling our passion, fueling the fire, and getting outdoors with smallmouth bass on Manitoulin Island. Woo! All right, lake's waking up this morning. I can hear it. It's gonna be a noisy day. One of our last few days left out on Lake Mindemoya fishing for perch. And you never know, maybe we'll get a monster splake like my buddy John did not too long ago. Pulled out a nice 24.5 inch, 5.4 pound splake right out of one of these holes out here by the Perch Slayer shack. I don't know, they're out here, so maybe a big walleye, maybe a ling, but whatever the case, we're ready to fish this morning. As this ice fishing season winds down, let's see what the day has to offer. All right, just setting this line up, set it down, hit the bottom. Oh shoot, right off the bat. That didn't even hit the bottom of the lake. Look at that little guy. Oh, and he was just on the lip too. You know these little 9-inch perch, I'll show you a cool way that we learned to clean these up in the shack. All right folks, in this week's learning curve tip, we're gonna look at cleaning smaller perch. And some of our perch are on the smaller side. Sometimes they get They take too much of the minnow down and they end up getting injured, so we end up keeping them. But I'm going to show you a different way to fillet these, and it requires 2 knives. We have a 6-inch blade here, and what we're going to do is we just take with that bigger knife, we take the head right off, right? Pull out some of those guts like this, and then this is where the second knife comes in handy. Now I know it takes a little bit more work, but you get a better fillet off these fish. So you can actually slide this blade right down along the back side of that fish, and because it's sharp, it just pulls out. And then I just take the knife, the tip of that blade, I pull and feel for that rib cage all the way down the side here. And once I get around the rib cage, what I can do is actually pull that meat right off the rib cage by pressing against the knife. Press against the flesh with the knife. Now, I have that fillet nice and flat, and what I do is I slide the knife right down the other side of the backbone, and I can actually, because it's so thin and the meat is white, I can see my blade go down there. Then I flip it over, just like so. Do the same way here, right down to the tail, and pull that flesh down like this. And then I've got 2 butterflied open. I take my bigger knife, cut like so, cut like so. Because it's a smaller fish, right, I actually save more meat. And I've got a really nice little fillet there from a 10-inch perch. And there's very little weight, so I'll actually show you. This is what you're left with, right? You can see it's right to the backbone, and you're actually getting a little bit of that belly meat, which, you know, when you're getting 20, 30 perch, that adds up. It takes 2 knives, it takes a little bit more time, but it's absolutely worth it when you take it to the table. So that's this week's learning curve tip. Now let's get back to fishing. All right, let's see what we got here. Now this is actually, get out there. See what we got here. It could be a walleye, could be a ling. Early morning. I'm betting it's a big ling. A great big ling. Like probably, that's a couple pounds. Oh, might be more than that. Come here, come here, come here. Come up through the hole, come up through the hole. Oh, woo! Just bit on an eyeball. Look at this fish. This is actually about an average size ling for Lake Mindemoya. Still a really good eating fish. We'll cut that open and see what it has inside its belly. All right. Oh, jumbo! Stay there. Look at that, baby boy. Walleye time. All right, it's the end of ice fishing season here on Lake Mindemoya. And you know, we've had a real short season. I think I might have a walleye on here, but we've had a really short season. The ice was 2-3 weeks late, and about, well, we still have 10 days left of March, and there aren't any more shacks on the ice. So I think the spring is going to come early, and we're trying to get the last little bit of ice fishing in. Maybe not.
biting. Oh, another perchy on Lake Mindemoya. Look at that. Not as big as the last one. He took our minnow too, so we'll have to redeem ourselves. That's 2 down, 1 more big walleye to go.
So let's keep his track at home. This is Jesse's 3rd fish to Neil's 0. Oh, she's going good, boy. Oh, she's pulling good. This is the fish we've been looking for. This is my first walleye potentially. I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping it's a walleye, but I haven't caught one in many years. Oh, it is too. Look at this. Oh! Look at that, boys.
Look at this. This is actually, we were hoping for this. We worked hard for this tonight. Jess has actually been on fire tonight with perch and walleye. This is probably, oh man, I don't know how big that is. Probably a 23, I would hazard a guess, but I'm not gonna guess. I'm gonna take a quick measurement of that guy. He is 23. Dude, that's an awesome fish. Let's get him back the hole. This one's in memory of Bert. We just had this conversation.
Just talking about Bert Kuzno, man.
Man, that's awesome. We're out here fueling our passion, fueling the fire at the end of ice fishing season here on Manitoulin Island, Mindemoya Lake. Awesome job,
Oh
dude.
man, this is the first one in a long time, man.
Awesome. Let's get him down the hole.
Oh, what a beauty.
Hold him in there so. Oh! Don't
Lots
even
of
need
life
to
to
hold him.
Lots
Yeah!
of life to it, baby.
That's it, folks. Stay tuned next
Oh,
week. We're going to have an
man.
action-packed another episode of Fuel the Fire TV. Like I said, we're out here fueling our passion, fueling the fire, and
We're getting outdoors.